Hello, it is me, it is Casey. Welcome back to my channel. How are you guys? Today I'm going to be talking about Tomodachi Life Lost Media, which is going to be very interesting. Trust me, you will want to watch this. If you watched my most recent theory video about Tomodachi Life, which was the Tomodachi Life iceberg, if you haven't seen it, I will link that down below in the description as well as in a pinned comment, so you can go check that video out. But if you have saw that, you will recall me speaking about the Korean version of Tomodachi Life. One of you guys actually made a point of saying that maybe this version of the game is actually lost media, and that set a spark off in my mind, and I was like, wow, that's a really good point. Why did I not think of that? You're very smart. So lost media is media that has previously existed but no longer does, or is lost and not viewable to the public. Due to it being so difficult to find anything about this version of the game, the point made by this viewer was really interesting to me. I wanted to do more research on the Korean version of this game to try to find as much info as I possibly could. So I made it my mission to find this lost media. First, we will talk about the only trailer for this version of the game, and I will play that now.
우선은 당신의 분신이 되는 미와 친구의 미를 만듭니다. 상대방을 떠올리면서 목소리나 성격을 결정하면 쏙 빼닮은 미를 만들 수 있습니다.
It showcases the game as a whole with comments from viewers racing across the screen. There isn't anything different or regional difference shown in the trailer. It's pretty much everything that we know and have seen before, but that doesn't make it any less interesting. Doing a little bit more research, I was able to find a promotional ad for the game. I adore the way this looks. It shows all sorts of moments from the game, like fighting, going on dates, singing, traveling, street pass, and all sorts of different scenarios that could happen. I was also able to find the actual box art. It doesn't look much different than the box art for the Europe cover, and is pretty much the same for the Japanese version, but it's way different than the North American cover art, which I thought was really interesting. Now, the most intriguing thing that I found out after creating the video about the Tomodachi Life iceberg is that there's actually a YouTuber who plays the Korean version of Tomodachi Life. I did a deep dive after finding this, and oh my god, are we so surprised. I will link the playlist to their playthrough of Tomodachi Life down below so you guys can check out their videos as well. But wow, I was just really surprised to even find that and come across that. It was very lucky. Thanks to finding their playthrough, I was able to find the translation for the title. It roughly translates to Friend's Apartment Gathering, from what I could figure out. So here we have a little blurb about Tomodachi Life, and it says, Tomodachi Life is a simulation video game developed by Nintendo SPD and published by Nintendo for the Nintendo 3DS. The game, which is a direct sequel to the Japan-exclusive Nintendo DS title Tomodachi Collection, was released in Japan in April 2013, June 2014 worldwide, and July 2014 in South Korea, which I thought that was very interesting. It was released a month later than the rest of the world. I wonder why. Typing the Korean title of Tomodachi Life into Google will lead you to find so much out about the game itself. I was able to find so many screenshots and videos, and I even found a few Me News clips, which I will insert now.
최근 두부를 손에 들고 취조하는 두부 취조가 조용히 인기를 끌고 있습니다. 두부 취조를 구하내는 핑크씨에 따르면 두부를 들고 취조를 하면 균형 감각을 기를 수 있으며 중간에 배가 고프면 두부를 먹을 수도 있다라고 말했습니다. 거리로 나가 미들의 의견을 들어보았습니다. 왜 지금에 와서 알려주는 거죠?
너무 감동적이었어요. 최근에 들은 뉴스 중에 최고예요.
The link to those videos will also be down in the description box for those of you who are interested. So here are a few of the screenshots that I found. One seems to be a promotional ad for the game itself, which features a little poster of the game, some little blurbs, and some Miis playing and taking a nap. Another screenshot that I found includes them circling, I don't even know what that is. It seems to be original different food. If I am wrong, I do apologize. It kind of looks like sausage. It looks kind of gross. So that was pretty much where they're worshipping a piece of food in a dream. And then we have another screenshot where they are playing a game together. It looks like a dog collar. And as you can see, there is the bottom screenshot to that as well, which has the Korean text across the screen. So those are pretty much a majority of the screenshots that I found. Upon further digging, I was able to come across a song from the game, which I was very excited to see. I will go ahead and insert that here as well, and I will put the link to their video in the description box too. So before coming across the Korean title of the Tomodachi Life game, thanks to that certain YouTuber, I was not able to find anything about the Korean version of Tomodachi Life. For some reason, whenever you search that certain term, it just comes up with almost nothing. But here are a couple of the screenshots that I could find. So one is this mini game that it looks like they are playing, and I almost compare this to what we have in the American version, which is the kind of rap battle, but this seems to be like a game that the Miis play, which is a lot more interesting because of course that would be new to us. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. The next one is one that shows a screenshot from the video before, which was the trailer for Tomodachi Life, and it just shows a screenshot of this guy and he looks really sad with some text across it. So like I said in the beginning, I was not able to find any regional differences about the game, and the trailer didn't show any regional differences, so I was very interested in finding out what those were. So I of course dug really deep, and here are some of the regional differences that I have found. The rooftop only appears as a hidden location in Western and Korean versions. So this one's kind of gross, so I'm gonna go over it. Just a warning, it's not pleasant. So in the Japanese and Korean versions, it is possible for two Miis, one child and the other an adult, to date, get married, and have children, with the child using an age-o-matic, which is the spray that makes the kid older, and it's just really weird that that is a thing. But to avoid controversy, this feature was altered in Western versions, so Miis can only date and marry if they are in the same age group, which I think is very appropriate that they changed that because yikes. In the Japanese and Korean version, purple embers appear around the Miis when they are sad or sick. In the Western versions, these are replaced with small rain clouds appearing over the Mii's head. The hand gestures are different in Tomodachi Collection New Life. In the Korean versions, when two Miis become friends or make up, they will bow to each other. In Tomodachi Life, Miis will wave their hand. In Tomodachi Collection New Life and Friend Gathering Apartment, which is the Japanese and Korean version, the Mii's blood type can be selected A, B, O, or AB. This is excluded in Tomodachi Life, so that is not a thing that is in the Tomodachi Life game. In the Japanese and Korean versions, when Miis are given any edible items such as food or medicine, they will always thank the player for the food before eating. In Tomodachi Life, Miis do not say anything other than to tell the player they are not hungry, or when they are given the same item that they already ate in the same visit. Rude. Here is Mr. Tomo. He is the little server guy or the little worker guy that is in all of Tomodachi Life, and in the Korean version he has a little robot head. Here is a screenshot of the bottom screen, and here's what it looks like whenever you're choosing your blood type, which I thought was very interesting. Here's one of the Miis playing a game, and I think that those are just beans. I don't think that that is a special item. It's still really funny. So previously we were talking about the game that was looking a lot like it was replacing the rap battle, and it is called the word chain. So in the Japanese and Korean versions of the game, a word chain event can happen at the fountain anywhere from 6 through 7 p.m. In the North American versions, a rap battle event will happen around the same time. And the Europe version contains both events, which I think is very interesting. I don't know why they didn't just add that to the American version, but yeah, there's that. So word chain shows two Miis standing in front of the fountain facing each other, with additional Miis sitting on the ground behind them. One will shout out a category followed by the other shouting start, after which they will both name things related to the category. Food Association will have them name things like dates, English breakfast, etc. Whoever takes too long to come up with a word or repeat a word already said will lose. So that is very interesting that that is a game that is available in those versions but has been left out of the North America version. In the Korean version, song lyrics can be filled out with pre-made words, food items, Miis, or the player can make a word of their own. The North American and Europe versions just let the player fill in the song lyrics, and here are what those pre-made little things will look like. Here's what Tomodachi Quest looks like in the Korean version. And yeah, that's a lot of the information that I could find after doing my deep dive. I spent literally all night researching this whenever I researched it, and I was just very invested. So yeah, the Korean version of Tomodachi Life really isn't lost media, just really hard to come by. In my opinion, this version of the game is extremely rare. I'm positive it could just be emulated for those of you who really want to see the differences on this file. But yeah, I was super excited to see a YouTuber that has a whole series on the game itself and to find a bunch of the regional differences. I wish I could have found the back of the box art. Maybe I overlooked it, but it would be really interesting to see. So yeah, I hope this cured some of your curiosity about this version of Tomodachi Life. I was so interested when I was working on the iceberg theory that I couldn't get this out of my mind, so I had to do more of a deep dive to find out if it was lost media or if it wasn't. So technically, not really, but kind of.
키리 오빠다.
고백을 할까 하는데요.
뭐? 고백을 한다고?
오빠 너무 좋다. 딱 좋다.
이것들이 여기서까지 뭐 하는 거야?
뭐야?
나잖아.
왜 온 거야?
당신을 선택할게요.
보라는 차나가 케어해주잖아.
또 다른 나, 또 다른 인생. 닌텐도 3DS 친구모와 아파트.
우리 부부의 아기가
오,
태어났어요.
너무 아름답잖아.
나 뭐 하는 거니?
아, 재밌겠다. 헤어스타일은 귀엽잖아. 아, 멋져. 목소리는 오! 여기 있잖아.
항상 활기가 넘치는 남자예요.
또 다른 나, 또 다른 인생.
너희들이 최고잖아. 역시 케어해주잖아.
닌텐도 3DS 친구모와 아파트.
그래도 나는 남자잖아.
So yeah, I hope that you guys were very interested in learning some of the differences, and that is kind of everything that I have to share. And that is it for this video. I will see you guys in my next video. I love you, love you, love you. Bye bye. Smooch.